So Slim, you entered into college about like 7 months ago, right?
I don't know how to count, so I'm thinking yes.
Okay, because it was 7 months ago. You plebonian, unless it starts differently in the Netherlands than USA, then it could have been like a different time, to be honest.
I have 3 weeks left.
So do I, man. That's pretty good.
Yeah, in that case, probably 7 months, I guess.
Yeah. So, after your first year of college, actually, I should ask you: are you like a full-time student? Were you taking like full-time to full-time, or like part-time?
Full-time, man.
Mm-hmm.
All the time.
Basically same, except for one was like I was missing a class because I was upset, and then like I got it. Don't worry, got you, boo.
Nice. Upset is spaghetti. Yes.
So like after your first year of college, how was it?
It was, well, let's first say, well, you know that I don't know how the fuck all the other systems in the world work, but like you have high school, I guess it's called, right?
Yeah.
But the thing you have before this,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Compared to high school, this was like the best year of my life. Simply because all the people there are amazing and they like connect with me on a different level. Because most I hated like. Well, I didn't hate them, but other people of high school are like bullshit. And I mean, it was really fun to do. Well, it's really fun here, but you know, it's what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, well, like it's only bullshit because everyone there is terrible.
At high school or at college?
High school, you widget.
Oh yeah, no, everybody's like almost everybody's like bullshit. Yeah. Everybody's fake, man.
Yeah.
They just do whatever they do to apply to the masses.
I should ask, are you going to like a specialized college or just like a normal college?
I think it's specialized. You know, I don't know how the fuck your fucking place works.
Like, is it like an art school?
Oh yeah, it's an art school.
Okay, so then yeah, it's a specialized college.
Then it's a yes. Yeah, it's very special. That's why it has the good people, man. We don't learn from books.
Yeah, that's generally how specialization works, you plebonian.
You're a pleb.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yes.
So you're going to college in order to get a degree in what exactly?
In animation, man. Animation.
Oh,
that's what it says on my resume.
That's pretty good. Are you getting a minor in anything?
No.
Okay, so are you actually like, what are you studying in preparation for your field in animation?
Let's see, narrative design to learn how to tell a story. Of course, we work with different camera angles and how to really get more of a feeling out of what you're visualizing. So how do you make the scene appealing to the viewer? Also work in how to use color, different art styles, how to use different styles of animation, 3D and 2D animation. What do you use for it? We need to make sure that the movements are correct so that it's actually, like if we want to make a person walk, it actually looks like a person walking, not a frog humping a rock. We have to work on people sketching so we know how the anatomy works so we can actually make fucking people and not like potatoes that are really sad. And let's see, yeah, audio. I'm not really good at that. Actually, I don't really care for audio that much. I'm just gonna hire a guy for that.
What are some of the things that like aren't specifically related to the drawing tasks that have been really helpful to you?
I have no idea what you just asked.
Well, like, if you're going into like a thing where you're gonna like make books, knowing like how laws work could be useful to you, so you know how like the selling and distributing laws work. Anything like that?
Oh, we didn't have that particularly. That's available. We have our art school has a couple of different curriculum. That's the word, I think. Different majors you can attend to, and one of them has that. I attended an open course, which is like you can take extra lessons, or you have to get some points. But it's like all these different kind of lessons from different teachers, and it doesn't have to do anything with animation. You can do anything else. I did attend one of those, and I actually got dragged into it by a friend of mine, and I kind of didn't pay shit for attention. But I do know that a sandwich is a contract. So yes, you can learn about that if you want to.
Well, yeah, I know you can. I was asking, was it useful? You pleb.
Was it useful? Well, a sandwich is a contract. I think that's all the information you'll need for your entire life. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Nothing about like how like if you say you'll do something, that's a legally binding contract, or like how everything you buy is a contract.
That's what I meant. Yeah, dude, I said sandwich, right? That's what I meant with everything you buy is a contract. Yeah. No, I got that.
Okay, then you're clearly going to the animations, but do you know like what you're going to do after you graduate and start working?
Absolutely fucking not. You know, I mean, you have a couple of people who were like, we were in my class and are like, yeah, man, I knew we're gonna do animation for a long time. I really want to do this, like my dream. After high school, I searched around from some schools and was like, hey, animation looks cool. I mean, sure looks fun. I draw a little bit. I mean, could do it. And I got accepted. I don't know shit why, because there's people that weren't accepted. And if you look at my class, there's like tons of people who are way better in almost everything that we can do than me. So I have no idea what I'm gonna do in the future. I'm just gonna make it through. And sometimes I really don't know, man. I'm like, I have shit for idea what I'm gonna do after this. I don't know any other environments than like a classroom. I haven't worked yet, actually, and that's a motorbike. I'm trying to find a vacation job to make any experience, but hey, I'm an 18-year-old fucktard. They're not gonna hire me. No, I have no shit for you. What I'm gonna do. I am, however, to help me with that, you have an. Do you have that? I think so. That you have an internship.
Oh yes, of course.
During,
yeah.
I think year 3, you're gonna do like half of a year of internship. So I guess that's gonna help me. But I have no idea what I'm gonna do. I still need to work out if I'm gonna specialize in 3D or 2D. It's a long ways ahead, man.
Well, if I'm being honest, like right now, outside just the podcast, but like if you do learn some stuff about 3D animation, I'd pay you to do some projects for me.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you ever look for some extra money, hit me up. I might be able to get you hooked up with some.
Sure. I mean, every money is good money,
yeah.
Except black money.
Well, of course.
Or is it white money?
Oh,
I don't remember. It was one of the two. Which one was illegal?
Cocaine.
Oh yeah. So I'll take a pound of heroin. And let's see, 3 ounces of weed. Wait, who are you again?
Someone, that's for sure. So you really you got out of high school, you looked at art, you're like, this seems like something that would be a thing that exists, and you went and did it, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. That's kind of very different from how I did it, where I thought about for years and years, and eventually I came to the conclusion that after going through a few different fields of art, I realized I didn't want to do those fields. I more specifically wanted to write things. So it's interesting to see how other people come to similar conclusions, but in a completely and utterly different way.
Yeah. I think I really appreciate people that look at things your way. Because, you kind of you have like a kind of set goal in mind, right?
Yeah, I want to become an official mangaka and have my own publishing company.
Yeah, see, I really look up to people that have goals like you because, dear God, I have no idea what I'm going to do with my life. I am kind of really into a lot of different stuff right now, and I also have the feeling that since I don't have a lot of time because of studying, and I have a lot of things that I want to do, I just get a little attention to each and one of them, but I don't think I'm going to accomplish much with just doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and I think I just need to, cut some things out of my life, but I'm kind of having trouble with that. But since you have a goal, set priorities earlier than, like me.
Yeah.
So, good for you, man.
I also look at things in the long term, and I know, I can do certain things that don't necessarily work towards that goal immediately, but will eventually help in some sort of way, shape, or form.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, continue.
I mean, I don't have the ability to not look at it that way. I can, see, when I do this, I kind of got, this going for me, which might help me in this thing that I might want to do, because of course I'm still kind of browsing life and goals, I guess. So things that do look a bit, helpful, I'll continue doing those. And I have a couple of set goals that I really want to accomplish in life, but they have nothing to do with a career. So I have no idea, man.
Well,
but yeah,
they don't have to necessarily do with anything with a career. It's like that saying, when you're young, learn to work really fast, because with that will come the ability to work well. And you just have to work towards things that will help you in general and in life, like doing YouTube and being able to maintain a consistent schedule is something that can help you in life, even though you don't do that, you son of a bitch.
Hey, man. I used to, then I got into college. That's how it worked for me. I messed up.
I didn't maintain a consistent schedule, then I got into college and I was like, consistent schedule, here I come. Damn. Except for when I don't upload. We ignore that though. So, you got into, you have a lot of things you're looking at. And you don't really know, if any of them are, necessarily going to be the thing, and you don't really know where you're going, or like what your resources, what you're putting into these things will actually pay off at all. That is an interesting place to be, but you can take solace in the fact most people are probably there around your age.
You're talking down to me, you son of a bitch.
I'm not talking down to you. You're older than me, you fuckboy.
So?
I can't talk down to someone older than me. Holy shit.
You can, but you just have to take the stairs up, because then you're taller than me. And then you can talk down to me.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
Well, like, let me frame something in this way. Like, I play soccer. I play a lot of it. And I work out, like, a couple hours a day, and I do a bunch of stuffs, and it's pretty good. And I see that as very helpful to my future career because of the fact I'm healthy, and also the experience I'm having I can easily translate into writing great stories.
Yes.
Yeah, so even like something as separate as that can easily be translated into something incredibly helpful later down the line. So all the things you're doing right now, even if it doesn't seem like, oh, I did this one thing that I never have to do again. I did audio design in this one class and I don't have to do it ever again. But that still like gives you a perspective on the people you're hiring and the people that you say do work, and it gives you perspective on what you can and can't ask for them and how hard their job might be or how easy certain parts might be.
That's true. Perspective is really important. I get that. I try to place myself in other people's shoes a lot. Well, mostly during depressing times, but hey, whatever.
I was hoping to get like some more like bouncing some of my experiences off of your experience of like a college podcast, but this is more like an animation slime podcast, which is good.
Slime podcast?
Yeah, it's a slime podcast.
If you want me to talk about something a lot, what do you want me to talk something about a lot? I mean, I'm just waking up again.
How about like what do you look at YouTube as right now?
YouTube? Oh dear God. Okay, so my current channel, Slime Curve Warrior. The way it started, I'm just gonna hold on. That's gonna be a big old story. I really looked up to people that have like big channels and just entertain people. And at first, actually before this channel, I had like 2 other channels when I was even younger, which I uploaded that and played with my friends, recorded. It was shit. Actually, beginning of this channel was also really shit, and right now I'm like maybe a little bit above shit. Anyway, I enjoyed playing it. I really was proud of myself for just uploading it and seeing that people viewed it. Then it kind of didn't work out because my computer kind of didn't want to do it anymore. So after I got a new computer, I went back and I created this channel. Then I created the channel before it, which got messed up because I showed it to a former friend of mine who then, and this was in high school, who then showed it to other people, which was great because as a emotionally unstable piece of shit teenager, tons of people making fun of you about that, your channel where you just do weird shit and play Minecraft is kind of bad for your self-esteem, whatever not. So I deleted that, and I deleted that friend out of my life. Didn't kill him, just say that for the record. So then a little bit later, I created this channel, actually, and Slime Curve Warrior was fun. And I did it for the fun, and yeah, of course, I had the dream of, becoming really, really famous. So I started out with playing, I think Terraria and Minecraft were the first games I played, and I played a lot of it. So I tried to upload, I think at a certain point, I tried to upload daily, and that's pretty, dear God, that's a lot of time sunk into this, and I had a lot of disrespect for people who didn't, appreciate it when they got views and whatnot. But I didn't really like it. It was kind of this outlet and this kind of other dream, because high school was shitty, and this was still during high school, which is it should be, because right now I'm like only a year after high school. I made more friends here than I did all my school. It was really fun to interact with all of them, and people, I could be myself and do funny shit, play stupid games and upload them and be like, yeah, I'm proud of myself for doing this one day, because I do it every day. And it was the schedule thing actually as well, because I did promise myself I'm going to do this every day, and that worked out for a while. And I got busier, of course, exams, entered the fucking stage. And now then college. And I finally got into an SMP where a lot of people were playing still talking Minecraft. Problem was I wasn't as focused anymore on that. So that became a small part of me and not uploading as much. I kind of lost interest in a couple of games, and I didn't know what to upload next. I didn't really think about it that much, and I got a lot more stuff on my plate in my life. I got a better social life. I got more work to do outside of YouTube. So I kind of got when previously in high school, YouTube was like my big thing to look forward to and play with the friends online. And now I have like more friends outside of that. I can play with them. I hang out with them. And I don't know, YouTube seems a bit like a chore now. When sometimes I just don't feel like I don't feel like playing a lot of games I want to upload. I feel like doing other stuff. And even though I really like it, I still like it when I do it. But it's like I get problems now getting to it. And yeah, it's kind of half problem with that. I also want to do like my art, my freaking college stuff. I want to upload that, but I don't want it to mingle with the Slumcraft Warrior channel because it's totally different, and the audience is also totally different to people I want to show it. Because even though I know if I showed this to my friends, and that's just my friends, not my family, because that's different, they would totally support me, but I would still feel embarrassed. Then my family, my closest family, would just make a little bit fun of me. My other family, I can't stand a part of my family sometimes, so that's not a thing. But so I can't really, because also the friends that fucked me up in high school, I can't really show this to close people, I guess, which is kind of an issue. So I really have problems with doing that. And since I do want to show my art stuff because I want to get better, and that's what actually I recently, because of course I also like anime and I like the style of manga. I wanted to draw that. I know I'm gonna go off track a lot, but I'm just gonna keep talking because I just got my second wind in talking. That's great. I got back into it. This was just like maybe a couple of days ago, because I still don't know what to do on after high school and whatnot. And previously I just like drew manga, but then I just looked at a picture and drew that, and I was proud of myself. But now I'm like, well, actually a longer time, I just want to draw something and make my own character, which I have had problems with. But now I've seen it's kind of like a new light, like the same steps that you need to take to get better and get your own characters out there. I looked at them again, but this time actually was like, you know what? I can do that. I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna train myself more and actually do that. So I have that going, and I have no idea what the preview was talking about right now. Where was it going with this?
You were talking about your feelings on YouTube in general, and you're going from your start point to where you are now, basically.
Yes. Okay. So I wanted. Thank you. I know. I actually know. Okay. So the characters and whatnot. I want to try just practicing that on like maybe a stream or just uploading tryouts and basic animation tests as well, because I need to get especially human volumes. You know, you can play with that if you have different styles, but even so, they have to be kind of correct in a way. So I want to try out with that and just make like small videos, basically just recording my progress and asking for criticism of people online, which is, it's probably a 50-50 deal, because you have maybe 30-30-30, and then the 10% that's like first. Let's see, if the 30 that's good criticism, the 30 that's bad criticism, the 30 that just sucks because they just insult you, and the 10% that says first. Yes, okay, that. But you know, since I kind of wanted for criticism, I don't feel like posting it on this channel. It just feels way out of shape, and I don't want to. Again, I don't want to show it to people I've met in real life, simply because I can't really stand that right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's kind of it.
Well, I found that story really interesting because even though like it doesn't sound like you've like necessarily known like you've been involved with a lot of this stuff for a long time, you have a very like familiar story to yourself and to like what other creators' stories are, and to a lot of people I've talked about and I've talked to, and a lot of other people I've interviewed, and your story kind of matches up with a lot of those things, like you not necessarily having the best confidence, it seems like, in certain areas, but still being a very creative person and not necessarily wanting to show that creative stuff off to other people is a very like common trait among other artists, and not necessarily wanting showing off or even connecting like your serious stuff with like your YouTube stuff is also, I feel, a very common thing. That's why a lot of people have like a gaming channel and then like a serious channel, even though their gaming channel is probably generally more popular or generally more lucrative. But at the same time, I remember having a conversation with you, I think just like a month or so back. No, it was probably longer ago than that, but where we kind of talked about this sort of thing a little bit, where I was like, you could do like you can do streams or other things of like your drawing or like animation modeling stuff. So I'm glad you're kind of like still thinking about those sort of things and still like going in those sort of directions. And I suppose like, you seem like a very creative type of person. Like your personality matches up with a lot of creative people, and you seem to want to do a lot of creative type projects. I think it would be really good for you to actually like, have a channel and have that consistency and have that flow of people and content, and having the schedule and having the channel to like keep you enthused and keep you above and actually working towards a lot of things. And I feel like right now where you are in your gaming channel is some place I'm at very often, which is you don't want to play video games necessarily because you're just burnt out and you don't really enjoy doing it, and you feel like it's even somewhat of a waste of time when you have this other stuff you have to do, and you feel like YouTube's kind of a chore when you have to record things you don't want to do but you have to meet your quota. And kind of like switching things up like that and switching gears into what you do want to do more and what you want to do now, I feel is a really good idea for like every sense of the word, and it's pretty much would only be a positive thing. The worst thing that would come from it is if there was no feedback at all. Even if you didn't get criticism, even if you had bad criticism, at least it's criticism, whereas if you get no feedback, that's not as good. But talking about some of the other stuff, like when you look at a manga and you like drew a manga-esque type picture thing and you're proud of yourself, and then now you want to make your own original stuff and like kind of get it out there and start like actual working towards getting that sort of stuff out there. I also find it very interesting. Have you ever like put any stock into actually like making your own original stories and maybe like making your living off of something like Patreon or the sorts?
I mean, I've kind of thought about something like that. I mean, I don't think I'm currently good enough to ask for money for actually anything I create. I do, however, when looking at of course, I look at animators on YouTube because, both inspiration and some of them are just downright amazing. I do see that YouTube isn't, if you actually want to, get set up, get a little bit of, because we're talking about kind of sponsorship, right?
Well,
from viewers. What do we talk about?
Well, Patreon is like, you can either set up for like what work you put out, so like on a per work basis, or you can set up on a monthly basis where people pay for what you do. And yes, it is much more focused on quality than quantity in those regards.
Yeah, that's the thing, because I've seen animators that try to use that more to their advantage, because YouTube isn't really animator friendly, because animation is such intensive work that you can, like, let's say you want to make a good quality animation of like a minute, and let's say this is not going to be true, probably, depending on the great quality of the animation. But let's just say it takes a month to make that. You have 1 month, get one video up. For YouTube, if you get paid by that, that's really bad. They're not going to give you a lot of money. You're not going to live off that. Just saying, if I'm like, this more like if you want to make animating your job and you want to, let's say, stay on YouTube.
Like, I can put this into a better perspective for people listening to understand.
Oh, okay.
If you were to get 1 million views on a minute-long video, and you were to consistently get that every single month on every video post, and that minute-long animation always is getting like 1 million views every time, you would probably be making approximately like $45 a month.
Yes, and if you get like a video a day that gets, what would you say, like the gaming content gets a lot of views, if you have good gaming content, and you can like post it like one video a day if you're really into that, and you get like the difference.
Well, like
in yeah. Okay, you go.
Well, like what you're talking about, like that can be described for pretty much any content, like reviewers and analysis type stuff. Like if I wanted to, I could easily post an analysis video every single day, and nothing would be too harmful about that. But like spreading yourself out and having a lot of different content is more difficult than just doing one sort of thing. But when it comes to animation, just the amount of time each one takes to make in proxy to everything else is so unbelievably more difficult. It's one of the most difficult and time-consuming art forms you can possibly do. The only things that would take more than that would probably be about sculpting and a couple other things like that. And even then, that it's a very close example. And because of how YouTube ad rates work, the longer the video is, the more you get paid for it. So if you're making a very long-form video, it doesn't matter if, like, per minute basis, it didn't take you very long to make, but the longer the video, the more you're getting paid for it, and the more you upload, the more you're getting paid for it.
Yeah. And that's two things that animation does not correspond to very well.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about manga earlier, and you could incorporate that into like your Patreon and your stuff like that, because of the fact, Patreon can be a monthly basis for like all the work you do, or it can be for like certain projects. I prefer the monthly thing since it makes more sense, especially if you're doing a lot of different things. But let's say you had a comic strip or like a manga strip that you updated on a monthly or like bi-monthly basis, and then you also had animation stuff, or like animation stuff was more of the extra stuff. You could survive off of that more easily. But like right now where you're at, because like you're just started kind of going into this sort of area and going in this field, you don't have the experience, you don't have like, I don't know what your talent level is at, since I've only seen like one animation you've done and I haven't seen very much artwork you've done, but you don't got anything really backing you. Like, if I wanted to go off and start writing and surviving off of my writing right now, I have like 10 years of experience to back me up, so I feel very confident, but you don't have that stuff to really be a back for you and be backbone. So really all you can do is make as much stuff as you possibly can, get as efficient at it as you can, and start hoping your quality also is going up at the same time. And that's kind of what college is for. But college is grooming you more towards not being a freelance agent who does Patreon, things like that, but it's grooming you to work into a studio or a factory site type setting.
Yeah, that's totally true. And of course, your experience does play a huge role. I mean, as previously stated, I kind of just last year I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do animation. If I'm not gonna do it, I don't fucking know. So yeah, I need to go more into depth in this field. Just indeed try to do that. I don't know. My artist level is like it's really weird. I think it's not. Sometimes it hits a pretty decent high, not a great high to get professional, I think. But it's of course your personal opinion. It's kind of, at least in my case, I always look a bit down on my own stuff because I can compare it to other people, and of course sometimes you have to be proud of what you do, but you also have to be critical. To give yourself a little bit of criticism, like I can do this better, and they have to improve this and that.
Of course,
this and that.
An artist is their own worst critic.
Yeah, I need other people, and that's when I show my art, like my stuff, like we have our sketchbooks which we need to do sketch in, of course, all the time, and I have like a couple of friends which I show them, and they're like, oh that's good, and a couple of friends who are like, oh, this is good, but you could have done this better. And those are the friends, and so those are the critics you really need, because they actually give advice instead of saying you're amazing. And I'm gonna go somewhere. Let's see. I saw a little while ago. I saw like this. It was either an animation or a comic or whatever about artists, and that if people get just that positive feedback, they won't try to improve anymore.
Yeah.
Which is really bad, because you're not gonna, survive if you're not gonna improve. You always need to improve.
Yeah. Well, like a saying I really enjoy is the most harmful thing in the English language is good job.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's never a good job. Then again, if your father never says good job, you're gonna regret that.
Well, it's a good thing your father is the greatest guy ever born, and he's just the best all the time.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, like, to you, and also to anyone who's listening to this who's a prospective artist in the field of really any field of art or creation at all, the best thing you could probably do with like not having a lot to back you, and not even feeling, I'm not getting the sense that you feel like you have this great hidden talent inside of you that you'll bring forth and you'll be the protagonist of the planet. But
dude,
yeah,
I want to be the protagonist. I really do want to be the protagonist. Want to go somewhere, get a sword, cut some people up in peace. Yeah. Continue. I don't have to tell it. Yeah, go on.
But the best thing for anyone who's looking to do this sort of thing is to get into the situation where you feel like you have to make things as fast as you possibly can and consistently making more and more and more things. So have a YouTube channel or whatever streamline you want to go through and just continuously make more and more. If you're like if you have just drawings, have as many drawings as you possibly can. Have a DeviantArt, fill it up with drawings, make another DeviantArt, fill that one up with drawings. Continue to do more and more and more for forever and try to get faster and faster at it. And if you do that, you're going to improve incredibly fast and rapidly. It's not about it's not really about quality at this point. Like you're 17, I think, 17 or 18, and
18. You're I'm legal.
Yeah, you're legal right now, and so that's pretty good. But like right now, you're like 1/8 through your life or something like that, and like we don't even have to really count like the baby years where like you don't even know anything. So like you have so much time ahead of you, and the best thing you can do is just be as fast and prolific as you possibly can, and work on as many things as you possibly can. Start that YouTube channel. Draw as much as you can, start like streaming yourself drawing, ask for as much criticism, make as many videos about drawing, analyze other people's art on a consistent basis, never stop analyzing other things, continuously try to grow as an artist, try new things, new styles, and continuously try to make consistent content out of all the things and all the avenues you're taking to improve. Also, go to youtube.com/Dragonmaster, even though this is a video on my channel, so this is a terrible plug, but go there and ask me for anything. Like, anyone here listening to this, slime yourself, because, like, I'm a genius, and I know everything about life, and I am the harshest critic you will ever meet, ever. And I hate everything, and I will tell you how terrible you are at a consistent basis, but I'll do it with love, and that's the difference.
Wow.
Yeah.
You do not sound like my father at all. You didn't drink today, did you?
Only a little.
Huh. That's the difference, kids. Only a little.
Do you have like a piece of art on your computer that you could send me that I can use as a bit of a reference and possibly put into the video if you feel okay sharing anything?
Something recent, dear God, I have no idea.
Well, it doesn't even have to be recent. Maybe something that's like indicative of your style, or like something that has like how long it took you.
Oh, I have no style. Yeah, that's like the thing that my teachers don't. They actually like that. Well, I don't have a style yet.
Of course, that's good. The thing about styles is they're just temporary things that come and go, and the people who get stuck in a style are the artists that start to stagnate and stop improving. So the fact you don't have a style yet is good. Well, like you do some CG stuff and some Photoshop stuff on your channel. I've seen like most of that stuff, and besides some like your newer thumbnails where you're going like 3D environment stuff, it generally has a decent composition to it. Like as far as thumbnails go, I mean, I don't necessarily mean as art, because that could be confusing. But like thumbnail composition is actually fairly well set up.
Danke.
Like I can tell when you are doing like your 3D environment stuff, like you don't quite know where to put the camera at, and you don't know like quite how to center the action, and like when you're overlaying text on top of it, it gets a little bit awkward because I don't know, like you plan it out, but I don't think you plan it out extensively where everything's gonna go.
Yeah, I just throw it together. I want to make sure that everything that is in the image is in the image, and then a bit of like you get the scene a little bit, but it's not that amazing. It's also not, and I try to put it together as fast as possible. Also, that amazing program, I don't really, I'm not the best at it. But yes, thank you for the compliment.
Well, I feel like I can give compliments out on thumbnails because, like, I don't know, I've made like 400 or something.
Yeah.
And you've always had, like, the ability to make a pretty decent thumbnail. It's just, like, you don't make them very often because, like, it's generally, like, it's the same images overlaid onto a background. So, like, when you do make a new one, it's usually nice, though.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just, as you know, with the chore and such, when I think previously I tried to make, like, a new thumbnail for every video I did. Yeah. And then I got really fed up with just doing it because it didn't really, meant that much to me. So I just did the overlay thing because that works.
Well, I remember like when we first met, like I complimented you on the fact that like all the videos you posted thus far, besides a couple, all had different thumbnails.
Yep, that's when I was in my early phase of YouTube. Very, very nice. It was a decent time.
It was a simpler time. It was a better time.
Over a year ago, dear God.
Well, like if you ever do want to like we could easily do some stuff like kind of in the vein of this, but like talking more about like more specific like animation or like Minecraft animation or blah blah blah. What am I trying to say? We can talk more specifically on like certain animation things in general, and we could actually like not work on a thing, but like go into Blender. Do you use Blender or do you use like Maya or something?
Maya. We just got we just got 3D animation. Like this is the fourth quarter, and this is the first quarter we use 3D animation. We have used Maya, and that's what we're gonna do the animation assignment in that we have to finish, and 3D code.
Well, like we could do like this type of thing and like go into one of those programs and like look around in there for like certain things and like try to figure it out, because I've used 3ds Max and I've also used Blender kind of extensively now. And so, like, I feel like I do know a decent amount about using them as programs and other things. And again, like I was saying before, I would hire you to, like, do some sort of CG animation for me. And, like, we could look into, like, a couple things in there.
That's interesting. Yes. I still need some more lessons on that. Yeah. Because I don't...
you're going to be better than me, though. And that's what matters.
Sure.
Yeah, because...
No, I just need to... you're gonna have to wait. I just need to get to know how to make a actual rig, and then we're totally set up, because then we can do shit.
Okay, that's going to a whole new layer of complication, man. I just need like how to do effects and animate things. That's it. That's it.
Animating things in Maya is really easy.
Yeah, it's really easy in Blender as well. But like, I don't know like much about Maya because I haven't used it at all. But like, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure there'd be the same sort of assets used in there that we could like implement over and do things in. But like, I'm not quite in the position to pay you, because I know exactly what it'd be. It'd be a season finale to an RP, and I'm not close to one of those yet.
Oh yeah, sure. No, you don't have to pay me yet, man. I'm totally not ready to accept money for any of my work yet.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. It might actually be a good like the first thing I do for you might be a good exercise at all. So
yeah. Well, like I'm not gonna tell you like a ton. I'm gonna be like, okay, here's $100 an hour. Go do it.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. No, sure.
I'd probably pay you on I'd probably pay you on an hourly basis, because I feel like that's a more fair way to go than a project basis. But like this is something like I need practice in, and like if I could hire a friend before I hire like someone I just don't know and I can't really trust, that'd be better.
Yeah, sure. Because I'm not gonna be like, well, I've worked for like 36 hours, so you're gonna have to pay me a lot. Well, I actually like worked for 5 hours, then took a long ass break, and then went on for like another 3 hours. Worked 8 hours total, but just lazed around for the other couple of fucking hours. No, yeah, sure, we can. That will be a very interesting experiment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, I think you might have fun with animating some of my stuff, because like I've been writing for a while, and like I like to put really intense imagery. Like the last animation I was working on, it was set in like this weird upside down void world, and had like a demon man, and like a guy's bone just got popped out of his arm, and it's pretty nice.
Oh dear God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Man, I think I can really work with that after my current assignment, which is actually, working on people's reaction while they're speaking. I think that's really helpful.
Yeah, and you wouldn't even have to do that, because it's going to be Minecraft animation, but still.
I mean, that's still applicable, man. It's body animation, not lip syncing.
Ah, yeah, that's true. That is true. There's very few bones though in like most Minecraft rigs. There's like there's generally like 2 arm bones, 2 leg bones, 2 body bones, 1 head.
I can still work a bit with that.
Yeah. Well, there's also eyes, and like depending on like the skin and the person, there will be eyes and mouth shapes and things like that, and eyebrows.
I know Minecraft skins are interesting. Let's just say that.
Let's just say most things don't have faces in Minecraft, and it's kind of weird.
I don't see any issue with it.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, no, I don't think I can send you something right now. I can...
Yeah, I put you on a spot a little bit there, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit, man. I don't know, man. I know I'm supposed to be training art or something, but that doesn't mean I have anything I want to, be criticized right now. Because I'm not being criticized on my drawings, so I don't really put much time in making them look at least a little bit decent. Just enough to make people understand them, man. That's all I need.
I know I'm supposed to be an artist, but that doesn't mean I actually draw things or make art.
Yeah, man, what the hell are you talking about? I just sell garbage.
I just sell garbage on a consistent day-to-day basis.
And it works, man. Living like a king. I mean, king in a very, very, very poor country, but still king.
Yeah. And that's really all you could ask for. Like, I'm basically like the king of Africa. Sure, I'm still starving, but not that starving.
Yeah, you're doing better than everyone else in Africa.
Yeah.
See?
Oh, I was gonna bring up if you ever do a live stream or like a drawing, I don't even know what to call it. Not VOD, but like a drawing time capsule-y thingy majigger. It's always a good idea.
Time lapse?
Not time lapse. No. That's some.
Just drawing. What would you call
live,
it? That's
live.
Live.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good word.
Yeah. So like, if you're doing drawing live, either live stream or just live in general, it's always a good idea to like get someone else in who can like either interact with the audience a bit more than you when you're at your points where you need to focus, or can like bounce things off a bit better. Because like I know when I go live, doing things that are more akin to those sort of animation type projects, then like it's kind of difficult to like keep the chat in mind and keep like talking in mind and also keep like the quality up.
I can see that would be interesting. I see you. I think you are very interested in joining me then.
Yes, very very interested on a daily basis, man. I am free 100% of the time because I'm all online classes.
Oh dear God.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's honestly the worst thing. This was a mistake. It's on top of it, like the hardest class I've ever taken is one of these classes on all online, and I'm just spooked.
Oh my God, sounds terrible.
It is, and it's art interpretation too. Like it sounds like an easy class, and I think it would be an easy class on any other teacher. But he's just like, okay, guys, we're gonna learn about Greek, Egyptian, Roman, Catholic, and pretty much every other major people who have ever made art ever. Now you have a week. Go.
Oh my God! I just had this fucking teacher. We have one goddamn quarter when we have to do a whole different major, and we don't do anything but animation. You just have to do it all. You can choose between a couple of them, but we had this theory teacher he's talking about buildings and whatever. It's spatial design or something. So. Actually, I don't remember any of his theory class because it was boring as fuck. But like, that's bad because like normally you're like, well, I could learn something from this. Like I could actually take that information from that theory into my animation because if I ever have to make buildings, I can do that. And like with you can probably what your class was art interpretation.
Yeah.
Probably also can work. If you ever make a world, you can use, blah, 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 this and blah, 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 that to make our own culture or something.
Yeah.
Whatever. But if the teacher sucks, it all goes to waste.
Well, there also is, you probably aren't going to face this problem because you're like, any sort of college that's especially college generally picks teachers better, but I'm going to a community college, and I had a teacher that told the students to do things like, when you're analyzing a story, don't think about the writer's intentions and don't think about what the story means. Just talk about how it makes you feel. And that was the class. She also said to do illegal things like, it's perfectly fine to like copyright and make money off of your like doctorate thesis. That's fine. That's not legal at all. And I was like, yes, it is. And she's like, shut up. It's great.
Fuck, man.
Yeah. Like
But your doctorate, that's your final project, right?
Yeah. Well, if you get a doctorate.
Yeah. Well, the final project you do to, graduate, that's, I think in certain cases, I think on my school, I can go through with that to make money with that one. But all the other things, all the assignments and that, you can't use those. But your final project, you can, if it actually gets picked up, you can, if you get Steam with that, you can make money from it.
Oh wow, it's like it's the exact opposite here. It's you cannot make money off of your final thing, and you can off of everything else. Which
I think I remembered. It was like, so most of the things you're doing are assignments, and every assignment you cannot do. But your doctorate, since you yourself have to put all your input into that. I mean, you learned like all these skills from your college. But since you yourself are now making the story, making the animation, making every background behind it, it's yours. And it's not theirs, but all the things that go before it, because you are kind of doing it to please them, to make their assignments to get through college, those are theirs. So if they want to use those, you can't say no to that. I know because I signed a contract that said, all the things you make are now courtesy of this fucking academy. And at first I was like, fuck you.
But then the next day you're like, you looked at your art and you're like, oh, I don't care actually.
Yeah, that too. I was like, wow, if they want to use this, I mean, go ahead. I don't think you promote your school with this, but sure.
You're like, look at this. These are the type of students we get here. Look how terrible this art is, and then look at what we produce.
No, I think you can make it. You can make it actually appealing. Like, do you see what this bad this artist? This guy got in our school. You can do it too. Everybody makes art.
Everyone can make art, even autistic 8-year-olds.
Yeah. I feel offended.
Well, you should. You should.
Yeah, probably.
I really wish it was the other way around over here, because then my family would have a lot more money. Like my grandpa, he was a rocket scientist, a rocket person guy. He makes rockets. He worked for NASA for a while, and by a while I mean like his entire career. And like his thesis, he was offered like $1 million for it. Back in the time where that actually meant something, because this was like, I don't know, 80 years ago.
Yeah.
And he didn't do it because he was using it for his thesis, and once you use it for your thesis, it's in public domain. So like he was like, I don't want your $1 million. I have integrity as an academic, so we don't have a lot of.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. It's upsetting in life in general.
Yeah. Your family would have been a bit richer.
Not just a bit. Like $1 million back then was like a lot. It's not like now where like, yeah, that's an okay amount of money. It's like you're set for life.
Yeah. And then if you put it aside, of course, and just get some, what you call it? I don't remember the English word for it.
Cocaine? Mistresses?
That too.
Yeah.
Both of those. But that you gain some money through the bank, whatever.
Oh, like stock.
Yes, yeah. Stock.
Yeah.
That goes up in stock. Yeah, that. Damn, I could not remember that word for the life of me. Yeah, then you would have been set up for life. Actually, though, that's bad. Kind of, half. If you know what I mean. Like,
no.
you start off with a rich life, you won't try as much to accomplish stuff.
Maybe.
I mean,
but at the same...
I'm set up decent, but...
I don't know. I started trying to do stuff before, like, I feel like I had a comprehension of money. But
I was crawling, but, yeah.
Like... I don't know, I decided to be an artist, and I knew what that meant. I knew that meant I was not going to eat food a lot, and I wasn't going to have a house for a long time, but I was okay with that.
Oh yeah, that I accepted that as well. I've accepted that when I go out of here, I'm just gonna live off cheap-ass fucking bami and whatever, Chinese food. I mean, rice is good. I mean, I guess
you're going to college and you're spending lots of money, and you're like, you have to live terribly the whole time, so you can graduate to then not make any money and live exactly the same.
Yeah, actually, I'm not living terribly right now. Well, and again, I'm leeching off my parents.
Well, so am I, man. But like, they're okay with it.
Yeah, same. Only if I fill this, I will get fucked, because then I have to pay for it.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well,
I get one freebie. Everybody gets one.
Everyone gets one. Well, I'd have to say to the prospective viewers who are younger than us, who are looking to go into college, do what I did and go to college younger, because then you get discounts. Woo.
Discounts are great.
Yeah, discounts are great.
Yeah, man. Same. I was underage when I started this, so.
Yeah, I was really underage. I was an infant. I've been in college for 17 years now.
I don't know if that's an accomplishment or a failure.
Why not both?
That's an interesting perspective on things.
I've had one class to go this whole time. It was been algebra. Oh no.
Oh dear God. Your poor child.
17 years later, I still don't know how to plus or minus.
I think the teachers failed. Did they give up on you?
Yes, they did.
That's great.
That's just like a factual statement. It's like, yeah, they all did. How'd you know?
I can't get over how fucking, high school is. Like, going to this college, I just feel that high school was a gigantic waste of my time.
Well, because it was. Like, high school, you don't get anything from it. It's like, for the normal people, it doesn't teach you anything you need, like how to do taxes or how to work like a 9-to-5. For like the artistic or like the people going into like high fields of like science, then they didn't learn anything. It's like, okay, I now know how to do this thing I'm never going to use again, or I know how to do this thing that's so simple compared to what I'm actually going to be doing. It's never going to come up.
Also, when you get you have to study for a test, so you just you kind of eat up all the knowledge, and you have it for the test. You have it, and then you just crap it out, and you get because you have to get the new food, aka information, for your next test. So you don't learn shit. Like a couple of things may not get out of your asshole, so they stick in your fucking brains for the rest of your life. But that's like, maybe you say like one day like, I know that watermelon is made out of this, and this. I don't know why I learned that, but I know it.
I'll be honest, I've never studied like ever. Like ever.
I think I only did in my last year. I am actually quite smart. That's what they say, but I'm lazy as fuck.
You're in an artistic career. You have to be at least somewhat smart to pick a career instead of being like, you know what, guys, I'm going to get out of high school. It's going to be great. I'm going to conquer the world. And you're like, oh, wait, I have to get a job. Oh, yeah, that's a thing. Because there's so many people that are like, oh, yeah, you have to get a job when you graduate. Oh, I bet I can do anything. I'd be a CEO, and the next day they're in McDonald's.
Yeah. No, that's McDonald's. Yeah. I don't want to go there. I'm scared.
I don't want to go there either, but I might have to because I have no money.
Yeah, I need to get a job this vacation. I already got turned down once.
I'm not even gonna have a vacation, man. I have 3 classes this summer.
Damn.
Yeah. One's a short class. One of them's the easy class, and the other one, I don't know. It's English. I don't care.
English. I find English class so fucking bullshit. Then again, I'm like extremely high level educated English, whatever, which is weird. English class in high school also don't teach you shit. I just learned all of it myself.
Nope. I remember going into my first English class and teacher's like, everything you learned in high school doesn't matter here. I'm going to reteach you everything they were supposed to teach you, and he taught all the things you're supposed to learn in high school in like a week.
Damn. Yeah, high school sucks.
It was like simple things like, this is an adjective, this is a verb, this is a noun. That's what you need to know. There we go. We can start now.
Huh.
That was it. Ooh.
English is weird. I just find some things I just heard and I'm like, yeah, that's cool, that's good. And the other things, no, those are bad, those are not. And that's how you learn English, kids.
Yeah, you look at it and you're like, well, I'm really glad this language that's made up of hundreds of different languages that were never designed to go together went together and made this whole new language that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Hooray. Accomplishments.
Oh, there's also like the most important class that I have to take eventually when I transfer into a 4-year school, which is Japanese courses. It'll be great.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna take, I think it's a basic course on that next year because I didn't know that there was one, but there is one, so I'm gonna do that.
Like, because I would. It doesn't sound fun, does it?
No, but I want to.
I just want to watch anime unsubtitled. That's it.
I know, right? Your whole fucking career. Yeah, your whole fucking career will be based around Japanese shit, so you better learn it, bitch.
I'm going to be moving to Japan too, so you know that it also is part of it, but mostly watching anime.
When are you going to move to Japan then?
When I graduate, which is probably going to be about the time I'm 21, 22. So 22.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Like immediately, how the fuck are you going to do that?
Yeah.
Like, dear God,
YouTube.
You know that getting a job when you're like non-Japanese in Japan in animation is quite hard, right?
Yeah, but it's a good thing it's not going to be an animation.
Oh, you're going to be a hooker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's bad. You can do that.
It's going to be as a writer though, actually, because I don't animate.
Oh dear God.
Animating's hard. I looked at animation and I was like, no, that's not the life for me. I hate everything about it and everyone who does it.
Okay. Still, you're going right away. That's kind of dangerous, man. Like
not really.
more not in like the aspect of like such like criminals, cocaine, whatever, but more like you have like your dream and you're just done with college and you're like, I can do this. I'm gonna go to Japan. Not getting at it. I mean, you have your experience, but in a professional setting, do you have experience? Like, did you actually get something done for published anything?
I have written a book.
Yes, did you get it published?
No, I have to get it copyrighted first.
Okay.
Yeah, but like it's.
Does your wait? You can continue that in a second. At my college, you can actually get a guy to help you with that, with the copyright and all that, to get it legally done and such. Can you do that at your college?
I would say possibly, but again, it's not a specialist college. This is a community college. Like, people are going there to learn, like, you know, instead of flipping burgers, they're learning to tell people how to flip burgers.
Yeah. Okay, but continue what you were saying before.
What was I saying before?
You were stuttering because I was talking through you again.
I was stuttering because you're talking. Okay, but like, where was I going with that? What?
I don't know. Let's see. You published a book, then I asked you. No, you didn't. Copyrights.
Yeah.
After that.
Oh well, like I don't like. I kind of see that as a source of income. Eventually, I have to finish more books. Like the first book I'm going to publish isn't going to be like a source of income. It's more like it's a more of it's not an economic, but a academic thing. And so that's not really, I'm not looking for that as a source of money, but like I am looking at other things that I am doing as a possible source of money. Like right now I've made about, I'd say, I can actually just check just like straight up, but I've made around the 200 mark dollars. I think 186 the last time I checked on YouTube, which is decent. You know,
nice.
It's good enough.
I've made $12.
That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good. Like
€12 actually.
Like
yes.
Like right now I'm waiting for like a few other videos to hit like the next 1,000 mark because a lot of them are just on that like cusp, and I'll get like a good influx of money for that. But like right now I have the ability to post a video and guarantee that I'll get 4,000 to 5,000 views. It's just that I would have to put a lot of time and effort in that, and I want to get better at doing things first.
Yes. You know, there's gonna be when you were just looking at the whole thing you just said, the first thing that popped into my mind when you were talking about that book was like, I was immediately thinking, well, this is just like my tryout, so I'm not going to see it as a source of income. It's just kind of a tryout in publishing thing. It's going to be how to do copyright. And the image in my head was that you take a book and you throw it into a pond, and then just like, yeah, that happened, and just walk away. I wanted to share this very important information with you.
Well, it was pretty important, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Well, I forget the point I was going to make, but that's okay.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I know. I am amazing at these talks. I just make you forget everything you want to say.
Well, like my only hope for making any money on YouTube would be Patreon itself, because like my content isn't like mainstream enough, or like it isn't the type of content that could make money on YouTube's algorithms very well, since I try to make everything as short as it possibly can be, and that's not very good. I try, if I spend 25 hours working on a video that turns out to be 5 minutes long, and it only gets like 5,000 views, it's not going to do anything. But if I can get people to be like, hey, I want to pay like $1 for that, then I'm like, oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I think people who use Patreon are more acceptable of it, because of course you have to YouTube Red a thing. But I don't know, it's kind of, there's a word for that.
Not consistent?
Not symmetrical?
Reliable?
Oh.
Symmetrical?
All of those things. Symmetrical, it's kind of more close to Patreon than normal YouTube.
Yeah.
Kind of, because you pay for it. But it's in a setting where usually you don't have to pay for it, so people aren't accepting of it. But if you have Patreon and you have a certain amount of a certain kind of content, and then within a certain kind of content, it's kind of just like something that's randomly out there that isn't made by a lot of people, or isn't made at that kind of quality by a lot of people. Like, that's stuff that people are going to pay for if they really like it. Especially if you just like $1 a month. I don't think it's like, yeah, I mean, that's cheap.
Yeah, it's not unreasonable. Like I consider Patreon to be a decent way to go. This like, I feel like it hurts my morals slightly that people have to pay me to do things that they want, but that's just because I have strange morals and I'm not corporate.
Okay.
Yeah. But the whole thing about YouTube and ad rates and Patreon, like, it's a very large can of beans that like has very many different conflicting viewpoints and very many different ifs, ands, or buts in it, and it's just, I don't know, it's a very interesting topic in my opinion.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's not one. There's no one way to really look at it. Especially, I find it really weird asking for, like, when I think about it, it's like I'm asking people to pay to watch one of the things that I made, or like that's even if it's very small amount, it just sounds weird.
Yeah, well, like,
feels kind of weird.
If you weren't going through those means, the only other two things is putting ads on it, or like, things along those lines, or actually selling a product. And selling a product and going on Patreon are kind of almost the same thing, it's just in different means.
Yes.
It's like, it's consistently being a Kickstarter person, like, give me this much money, I will make this, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Then you will have to stay true to your word.
Yeah. Well, one of the things they tell you to do on Patreon when you like sign up for it, and like a lot of people who use it tell you, is do not say things specifically, and do not really promise a lot of things. Say, I will try to do this, and make sure it's something that's very, very accomplishable. So like, at your worst time, you still can get it done.
Yeah, because if you promise too much and you fail to deliver, you're gonna really pay the price there.
Like I like some of the stuff, I think about this more because of the fact I've had a couple series that have been really, really popular, and like I could do something along those lines with it and other things, but it would take a lot. It would take a lot to even begin to start working towards that point. I feel like I need to get other things up to snuff first. Yeah. Like I think you kind of feel the same way with like your art and starting an art type channel.
Yeah. No, I really need to. And I have those feelings, of course. But I feel like if I just start doing the rough sketches, even though that won't be as much appreciated as like nice stylized art, because that's what people really want. Well, actually, let's be more specific. That's what people who don't do art themselves really want. Well, because people who do art, people who do art, any kind of form of it, know that the rough pieces, like the beginning stages, are very valuable. Like they can appreciate it, but people who like don't really interact with people that don't interact with any media of art, they cannot really appreciate rough sketches as much.
Well, there's mainstream audience, and then there's the niche audiences, and that's like artist type people are the niche audience, and the mainstream will only appreciate what they appreciate. But like, as someone like me, like I will watch YouTube videos endlessly about people just talking about what their plans on YouTube are and what they do, and like talking about their art and what they do, and just talking about things and not even necessarily really doing anything, because of the fact that it fascinates me to a great degree. But as a mainstream thing, I feel like it has taken off over the years, that people are more and more interested in that sort of culture and things, but still not quite hit the like peak of the mainstream.
But yeah, no, I'm gonna make sure that I'm promising myself to actually start on the art channel, but I have granted myself the leeway that I don't have to start for myself these current 3 weeks, because in these 3 weeks I have to finish 3 projects, so I'm kind of screwing myself over if I would also want to start on my one upload a day art channel, because I think one upload a day, even like it can differ for anything, just checking out a rig, just trying out a small animation, trying out a small drawing, that would indeed improve my work, and I think that's doable.
It is doable, and I'm surprised that you said it, because that sounds like fantastic.
Yeah, I want to do that, but I think I'm just going to start that after
you're done with these classes in summertime.
Yeah, after the 13th of June, I think. Unless I fuck up somewhere along the line, because then I have to redo a whole assignment.
Yeah. Well, like, in the meantime, you have plenty of time to think about things. Like, I easily spend like 1 to 2 hours every day just thinking about like YouTube and other art things and things I can do, and thinking about things and like coming to deeper understandings and like planning things out thoroughly and replanning and rethinking things is like one of the most important things you can do.
Yes.
This actual podcast itself is probably going to be about a video series in that vein of talking about planning things out on YouTube and doing other things along those lines.
If I had a webcam equipped, you would see me nodding at you so many times.
Yeah.
This podcast, like, just, yeah, he has a valid point. And even though nobody can see it, you still do it. Nobody's in my room, only me. I'm like, yeah, I'm nodding because I agree.
Yeah. Well, like, we were talking like a lot about kind of more simplistic things, so we're not like going real deep into like certain conversation topics. So like, it's easier to say like broad statements that kind of apply to a lot of things, and it's harder to say things that are more individualized and specific and more about certain events and things.
Yeah, true.
But that is one of the focal points I want to eventually incorporate into my channel, which is helping other channels and like talking and helping with just creators in general. And like I this is a little bit of a secret project thing, but I actually have a second channel made that I will eventually be posting on, which is going to be focal on writing and like the writing experience and helping people do writing exercises and like helping people with the writing stuff.
Oh damn! Look at that writing.
Like I'm very much an outlier when it comes to YouTube and the type of people on the content on that do things on YouTube. And there's like a chart I made in my head to like kind of signify what type of people are. There's hobbyists, academia people, and then artists. And the hobbyists are, of course, like, people get on YouTube as a hobby. Academia are people who get on to help other people and like to push mediums forward and like to study things and to like broaden like academic horizons. And then the artists are on there to improve their art and improve their work consistently and continuously try to grow. And I feel like I land kind of in the center of all of those, where most people on YouTube are only really hobbyists.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah.
But like, even I'll admit, like when I first started YouTube, I was just making Let's Plays because I wanted to make Let's Plays and it sounded fun. I wasn't putting anything into them, and I was just like, I wasn't editing them. I was just, I'm talking in front of a microphone because that's what I'd be doing playing a game anyway.
Yeah, and I think most people kind of start out with, if you have those three categories, I think most of people start out in only one of those categories, and you kind of shifted, like, while you were doing it. You were, of course, experiencing more things than just YouTube, I think. Well, I don't know if you ever leave your room.
Well, no, I don't actually.
I actually don't know. Yeah, so, but, yeah.
I'd say there's only really been two big shifts, which is YouTube, like, kind of, like, instilling into me kind of, like, a work ethic, and then soccer also instilling a different type of work ethic and understanding of the world around me, which was, soccer kind of taught me that this thing that I've been doing my whole life that I didn't really put any stock into now is one of the most important things to me. And, like, that can just happen. You can just be one day do something and realize, wow, this is incredible. This is what I want to do for a long time.
Yeah.
I feel like both of those things helped to get me to the point where I am now, where, like, I do care a lot about YouTube and the content I post and making sure that everyone else is, like, not struggling and making sure that everyone's, like, posting the best content to their abilities and are working hard and don't have any regrets on what they're doing. I don't know. I just feel like everyone will eventually switch to that point if they keep at it long enough. It's just that a lot of people don't get results in the first, like, couple months of posting, or they get results too fast, and so they don't feel like they didn't really have to work enough. And so, like... Yeah. Because, like, I was going to stick at it anyway. I was just doing YouTube because I wanted to do YouTube, and I wasn't getting any results for, like, 8 months. I think it took that long to get 100 subscribers, and then much longer after that to get to 1,000. And I was continuously just increasing my quality until I got to the point where I was just increasing my quality to just increase it, and I was just trying to think of ways to increase it, and not necessarily increase it, if that makes any sense. It doesn't. Well, Slime, do you feel like college was the right decision at this moment?
What, going to college?
Yeah.
I guess.
I'm glad you have heart.
What?
I'm glad you have heart in your sentiment.
Oh yeah, I think that's a tough ass question, man.
Yeah, I think about it on a day-to-day basis because of the fact I don't really need college because I'm not really learning anything, but at the same time I feel like it's helping me have a nice environment where I can work in well.
I think it's a tough question because I mean, people ask me, are you having fun with the college and is it fun? I'm like, yeah, I have no idea how to compare this because of course it's a specific bullshit thing. So comparing it to something like biology, which would be like something I would have done otherwise because I have an interest in biology, how the fuck are you supposed to compare those shitty things?
Well, yeah, that is a large part of it. Like, you starting from a place where you don't really have much information on what you're going on. And college is like the first time where people are actually learning and teaching things properly. And so, like, it's good for you because, like, you're building up from a foundation where you don't have much. Whereas I'm going to college with already a stable foundation and I'm learning about a lot of things that I kind of knew about already, but I'm doing it in a different way, I suppose. Or, like, I'm relearning
so I guess, then I guess for you, it's still helpful for you in a way. Also, fucking cars, man, dear God.
I guess, like, the main thing is just that college is expensive, and if it was free, I would not care.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Like,
actually, I don't care. It's not my money.
Yeah, but, like, it's going to be my money eventually when it stops being very discounted, and, like, my parents have already said, like, we'll pay you your food and we will pay your house, but we won't pay your college.
Oh dear God! Wouldn't you rather have it the other way around?
No. Well,
No?
I
don't know the costs.
I mean, I don't want to cook my own food, and I don't want to clean my own house, but at the same time, I don't make any messes. I sit at my computer and make videos all day and write.
Yeah.
And that's it.
See? Yeah.
So, like, I guess if I had an apartment, but an apartment would be way too much money. I don't make money, so, like, affording an apartment would be bad.
Yeah. I know, right? I can't move out. I don't make money.
So you're screwed if you do, and you're screwed if you don't. You know? That's But I do know one thing. I've started an event on my channel. This is going to date this terribly, but I've started an event on my channel called Anime, and I'm posting an anime video every day. And it's been nice because I feel like I'm finally getting to a point where I can be prolific and actually be happy with the amount of content I'm putting out.
An episode of anime or what?
No, well, like, I generally focus on analyzing anime, and so like it's going to vary in like different things. And I'm trying to like make them longer videos as well because like YouTube algorithms and things. But like I have a thing where I analyze the first episode of anime. I have a thing where I go into my like MAL, which we were talking about earlier, and I just randomly discuss, one of them. I hit a random number generator and I talk about one of the things in there for like to the point of exhausting the topic point. And then like I have a thing, I dropped a manga in like 5 pages and I analyzed why I did that and a couple other things. Like we're going to have a video about MAL itself on here.
Oh damn. Yeah, if you would ask me like what you were doing currently, I see your videos and I see people, Chris's videos and also whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'm not interested. I don't watch everything anymore.
Well, like I don't really watch everything. Like I look at what everyone's doing, but like Owl doesn't upload, and Chris uploads basically the same. Well, like when he posted like a highly edited video, and I checked that out because I could tell it's edited because it's like 5 minutes long, and Owl doesn't upload, and I just watch YouTube videos. I watch everything in 2 times speed, so that probably helps. But that's just me. And also,
everybody in your life is a high-ass voice.
Well, yeah, that is true, except for when I talk to them in person.
Yeah.
And actually, it's
probably a shock.
You get used to it. It's like, it sounds basically the same. Actually, things sound kind of slow and weird when it's not 2 times speed, I'll be honest.
It
was a thing that existed.
It was an interesting podcast. This was indeed a decent amount of spending my time. I would have only wished that it would have happened a bit sooner than this late, because now I miss sleep and... Yeah.
Like this is why like I was talking to you earlier about setting up times where we could do things at reasonable times instead of in the middle of the night.
Sadly, we didn't really follow through on that,
No, we're still following through on that. Like I'm still talking to everyone and like deciding times and things like that. It's just you're never on. You're never on.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I forgot. My Discord, you can always send something on my Discord and I'll eventually see it because it's always automatically on. My Skype is not automatically on anymore, no.
I don't use Discord. I don't even know what that is, man.
You don't know?
Well, I have it installed. It's just like I don't understand it at all.
I know. Anyway, I'm gonna go kill myself and like sacrifice a goat.
You do you?
Or a cat.
You do you?
One or two. So yeah, I'll see you around. Hopefully not when I'm dying of sleep deprivity. So yes. Okay. Bye.
Bye, Z's.